Hello, welcome. We got our little coffee drink. Today, it is Saturday, and so I have just been deliciously lounging about. I started copying over my notes because I had talked about in my Q1 reflections video about how I finished this notebook and I wasn't totally sure what to do with it because I knew I wanted to copy my grammar notes over, but I also didn't want to just throw away my writing samples. But realistically, and I was talking about this with someone in the comments, like I am moving all over creation these days, and I already was not really a keeping things kind of person, so I took photos of all of the writing sample pages. I didn't take photos of like these practice exam sheets, but any of like my practice writing samples, practice speaking things that I had written out, or I actually scanned them in with my notes app and I put them in a binder thing on the GoodNotes app, so I just have that document here. And that's also where I'm going to create like a virtual binder for my grammar notes. So I bought GoodNotes back when it was a single purchase app, so I don't recommend it now necessarily because it's a subscription, and I think that's completely unnecessary for a notebook app. So there are other apps that do similar things. It's really a shame because I actually love GoodNotes. You can look up alternatives to GoodNotes 5, but there are all kinds of amazing features that make this much better than like a non-note-taking dedicated app. So anyway, I started copying over and I want to make it like pretty and cute and everything. So something that I love about this, you can make like an outline. You can actually do like way more elaborate things, like you can import a PDF that already has an outline in it and then use that PDF and it'll all just come up here automatically. I'm just making it from scratch because it's not that serious, but I have like a grammar section here, so I'm going to make like a little cover page and then all my grammar notes, and I'll probably need some subcategories. I have a vocabulary section, I have a miscellaneous section, which is where this thing is, but I need to add something cute to the cover. And yeah, so I kind of cleaned up my folders here too. I have reading materials, which I have that book that I've kind of read a little bit on the channel, and then I downloaded this article from the Cervantes Institute Library databases that I would like to read and take some notes on. Then I have reference, which is all of my reference books. I have writing materials, which is anything related to writing, mostly from the Delay course that I got, but also anything else. And then archive, which is again the notes that I'm saving. So that's where we're at. I am going to probably do a little bit more of copying notes over. This is going to take me a little while, but I also don't mind that because it is kind of fun and also it's a good review. So I was just listening to music and doing that. And then I do want to read some today, and I also want to play some games. So we're just going to be having a cozy day. So okay, it is Sunday night. I'm gonna do some planning. I lightly have the Sunday scaries, not too bad, but I haven't used my planner in a couple weeks, so let's get that back up and running. So this week I really want to prioritize doing some reading. I'm fine with still spending a lot of time on games because why can I not find a pen? I have some games that I'm really enjoying and wanting to kind of finish up, so I'm still fine with dedicating a lot of time to that, but I do also want to read because it's been like a couple weeks, honestly, since I read anything significant. I read some while I was visiting. I don't know if I've talked about that. So this week I really want to finish transferring my notes to my iPad so I'll be able to start studying more things and just have a fresh digital binder to work with. I need to get back into my webtoon habit. For like a couple months there, I was in a really good habit of waking up and then just reading a webtoon instead of like checking my email, checking Instagram when I had Instagram on my phone, but I don't currently, Discord, Reddit, all of those things. Like, I really don't want to check those things. I really want to either not look at my phone, which is not realistic for me, partially because I'm afraid I'll go back to sleep if I do anything else. If I'm gonna look at my phone, I want it to be a webtoon or something reading, not a scrolling kind of activity. So tomorrow I can do my Patreon book clubs because those polls are ending tonight. We're going to put a walk on here every day. Okay, so that's something at least. We have an idea. Hello! I just started Breath of the Wild. I'm absolutely obsessed, and I will continue doing that, but even before that, I was kind of going into a reading slump, and then I pretty much just am not reading right now, and that is not what I want, so we are going to try to get out of that. So today, while I was, on different breaks at work, I did start reading. I read 25 pages of this book called Inés y la Alegría, which this has been translated into English. I believe it is a very famous historical fiction series about kind of the Civil War / Franco dictatorship in Spain. And so this is a very dense read. I have to look up a lot of things, not just in Spanish, but also in history, because it's assuming a lot of historical knowledge that I do not have. And so this one I'm definitely going to be, probably reading some from every day, hopefully, because I really am, trying to make progress on this. And so I think I'm going to read Heaven Official's Blessing. I decided to, venture out of my comfort zone, actually while I was visiting in the States, and I got it from the library, and I read about 35% or something like that, and I had to return it to the library before I could finish it, but I got it digitally from the library in order to finish it, so I do want to do that. It's a super easy, quick read. So I think that these two combined will be a good match. And then I also, if I finish this one this week, can get started on a book club book for my Patreon book clubs. But yeah.
The secrets we tell each other, they come out one at a time, 'cause they fall on deaf ears at quiet times alone.
Hello. Sorry for the laundry noise, that is that one. So I am continuing to work on transferring my notes to my iPad. I still have not decorated the cover or anything, so I do need to do that, but I have copied over quite a lot of notes, but I still have a lot left in this notebook. I started with a different notebook, and so that one is done, but I still have to do this one, which thankfully the vast majority of it is sample writing, not actually notes, but we do still have quite a few notes to copy over. Right now I'm going to start with 15 verbs or more that change meaning when they become reflexive. I think I'm gonna put it in vocabulary. It's kind of one of those that, like, it could be grammar, it could be vocabulary, but I think I'm gonna put it in vocabulary. So we're gonna work on that.
Constantly checking if what we're about to say is really what it's worth. Is it our 2 cents or is it nonsense? All these things that we've unearthed.
Good morning. So I have been reading the Warrior Cats book. This is the first page. I decided to try to read it in German, and obviously it is very far above my level. You can see, I'll screenshot so that this isn't so horrible. You can see in the first paragraph, I was really struggling. I decided to read the first chapter, well, this is the prologue, but I decided to read the prologue first in English so that I would be able to pick up context clues, because I've never read this series before, even as a kid. And so then after about right here, I had read it in English, so it got significantly easier after that because, you know, I knew what was going on. But I decided to, I'll show you. I don't think I'll do this for the whole book, but I'm doing so, like, when I look something up, that's claws, not collar, but, you know, if you look up something longer, usually it's more accurate. Yeah, there we go. So claws. So if I wanted to write that down, I had written it down up here. So, like, once I've looked something up, I'm writing down what it is, because it's pretty easy to do with this feature. And then you can just look at it anytime you need to. So anyway, I'm gonna try to push through and do that. I'm really bad about this sort of thing where, like, once I've put in, like, a certain amount of effort, I'm just like, okay, I did the thing. Even though, like, I didn't really do enough to make an impact on learning necessarily. But yeah, other than that, I started yesterday the other book club book. So this is the multilingual book club, the Warrior Cats. And then I started the Spanish book club book, which is Invisible by Eloy Moreno. Yeah, I only read like 10 pages or something like that. But I will be continuing that. I also read a little bit of my Spanish book, which I am progressing through quite slowly, but I am liking it. So speaking of the book clubs, if you are at all interested, they are going to be free moving forward after this month. So if you want to, you can join the Patreon as a free member, and there you'll be able to vote in the polls to pick books or games or webtoons or whatever we're doing for clubs. It's going to be the exact same thing for everyone, because I'd like, you know, to get more people participating. I always wanted it to be more about just like having a community than about like making money off of it. So I decided to just make it all free so that hopefully we can get more people, and then you can like pop in and out when there's a month that nothing looks interesting to you. It will be no big deal to just skip that month. So yeah, anyway, check that out. The link is in the description always. Usually we have a multilingual book club book and a Spanish book club, so like a book originally written in Spanish. And we try to kind of alternate difficulty levels. And then lately we've been experimenting with having some other clubs like webtoons, games, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm so tired for some reason. It's only like 10 a.m. and I already want a nap, but I'm going to try to push through this prologue, and then we will see where we end up. Okay, wait, I'm back already. There's this sentence that I just love. I looked it up, and it's apparently an expression or like a way of saying things. A way of saying this in German, but it's my German is so rusty. Aber du und deine Kriege haben nichts in diesem Wald verloren. Like, but you and your warriors have lost nothing in this forest. And it means like you have no reason to be here. You don't belong here. You shouldn't be here. That's just so cool to me. You have lost nothing here. I don't know why. I just found that very interesting. Okay, hello. So I just worked on the notebook a little bit more, and so I thought I would do a little tour before we close out this vlog. Here's our cover, which is just random pictures from Spain and then 2 memes. We're working with what we've got. If other inspiration strikes, I will add those pictures. But this is our cover. Look at our thing here. So our first category after the cover is grammar. And here is my grammar title page. La vida es como usar Excel. Crees que sabes, pero no. Me and grammar for sure. So all of these memes on the cover pages came from my favorite cat Spanish meme Instagram account, Michi's Chilean, I think. Yeah, so recommend if you're in the market for memes. So most of the notes that I have copied over so far are about subjunctive. So first we have the notes from Linkuriosa's playlist about subjunctive. So that's these first 3 pages. Then we have some other things. I think these were from Lingolia articles. These next couple pages. Then we get to vocabulary. Nacido para decir oli. Obligado a decir buen día, mi estimado. So all I've done here is verbs that change meaning when they're reflexive, and I've only done 6 of these, and I have like over 15, so I need to keep moving on this. Then we have books, notes from books. I didn't have a good meme for this, so I just thought this one was funny, cute. And I've barely started notes for this. I want to see if I can find a PDF or something of this book because I own it physically, but I've been writing down vocabulary from it, and I really want to write down the full sentence the vocabulary is from. So I want to be able to search, like Control F, and so yeah, I need to see if I can find that. If not, then I think I'll just delete this page, but I am hoping to take some more notes on books that I'm reading in general, so this section hopefully will get some use. Then we have our miscellaneous section, cositas. Ya encontré el error en el proyecto. Eran ustedes. So here we have the things that you are supposed to be able to do in order to pass the DELE B2. I just kind of wanted to preserve this. Then this is one set of notes that I had about how the accent rules work with the tilde. I really am not good at diacritics in Spanish, so I do need to look at this more, and also just punctuation in general, like the rules for when to use a comma and when to use a colon and a semicolon and stuff are not the same, and I really don't know what the difference is, but I know that they're not the same, and so I need to look into that more. So yeah, anyway. And that's all that we have. So this is my little notebook so far. I'm really liking copying these notes over. I just need to actually, it's one of those things that once I get started doing it, I really enjoy it, but I don't necessarily always feel like starting it. I have also been reading more. I still need to continue to work on that, but I did finish that book in English that I was using to kind of jumpstart my reading again. I started listening to Sunrise on the Reaping in Spanish. Unfortunately, I really don't like the narrator's voice. Like the voices sometimes that he uses for characters, I think that they're super cringy. So that's kind of dampening my enjoyment, but I am still listening to it. And other than that, I'm still working on the books that you've already seen. Reading Invisible, theoretically reading Warrior Cats in German. I still haven't read any more, and my history Spanish book. So that is the update for now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, and check out the Patreon if you are at all interested.